Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Bashim Kakadash and Tabanas unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations unto the 144,000. It's just a quick lesson here to the Spirit, on the plantation here. We'll then I get to do this quick lesson before, interruptions. I just want to touch on second, it's just 8 and 1. It says, and he answered me, saying, the Most High had made this world for many, but the world to come for few. Right? We all understand the scripture, and you can say more or less it's like a reminder, a faith booster to know that, the kingdom that is to come, is for the elect. We're not saying that the Israelites, the rest of the Israelites, not going to be in the kingdom, but they're going to be ruled, of course, by Yahweh Shai, then King David, and then, the 144, right? The elect going to have that status. They're going to be up there. All Israel going to be up there, but, it's have a hierarchy, right? So, these heathens, and then, they're going to be at the bottom, right? Lower than how we low right now, and there's going to be a permanent thing, going to be forever. So we could always say to other Yahweh Shai for that, but this world here was made for many. It's full of sin. It's just like as it says in in Revelation when it talks about Babylon. It's the key to every foul word, roughly paraphrasing. And the whole world fashion after Babylon. So it's just full of wickedness, and anybody could do whatever it is they want, and it has no repercussions for it. So that's why anybody, you once you doing, you following the devil. Yeah. Once you I'll lose my trader thought, yes. These demons, boy. But basically what I want to say is that just how you're following these tutors and them, the other heathens following these devils in this time and here to get what they want, they succumb to their laws and whatnot to try and make it in this place. We're gonna be subject unto the higher power then. You see? Yeah, looks it. But yeah, these heathens and them, they're not gonna have that play in the kingdom. We're gonna have all the play, alright? But as it says to come for few, it's not gonna be like here, The law's gonna be upheld, everything gonna be just, So the wickedness, especially like for Esau not gonna be in the kingdom. They're only gonna be there for like 1,000 years, working hard like a slave, and the Lord gonna wipe them off the face of the map, So think about it. Think about it. It's really, it's something, and it's an amazing thing. It's frightening at the same time, because those of us in the truth, we want to make it. We want to make it. We want to be there. We want to be accepted by our Bashim Shai as part of his elect. But hey, as I said, this was just a faith booster. I hope you all got where I was coming from. Yeah, keep it short and sweet. So till next time, Shalom.